think the big change is that there's more tools at our disposal to end HIV. So there's much more opportunities to prevent HIV transmission. So if you go back to the 80s, then actually the message was condoms. Make sure you have condoms, make sure you know how to use condoms, and use condoms. So it was, and really condoms and lube were the only tool that we had at our disposal at that moment in time to prevent HIV transmission. Now condoms and lube are still, of course, absolutely critical, really critical, but now you've got not just condoms and lube, you've also got HIV testing, you've also seen a huge expansion in the way that people can access HIV testing services. So I'm much more moving towards self-care. So, you know, years ago people had to access testing services within a clinic. And whilst that's great, we've now got a situation in many parts of the country, including Greater Manchester, where people can get a test done in a community setting as well. We've now got postal HIV sampling kits, so people can, you know, order them online, get them posted out, take their own sample of blood and send them off. And we also get HIV self-testing kits, so people can actually test themselves as well as take a sample. So, and of course that is cheaper as well. So actually it gives the opportunity in terms of scalability, in terms of getting more numbers of people to test. So I think what's changed is that a lot of the service offers changed, a lot of the ways to prevent HIV's changed. I think some old favourites have remained, which is really important. So I think, you know, the LGBT Foundation's, you know, condom and lube, safer sex packs have been around for over 20 years, really, really important. Do you know that they stay and are visible? I think some of the other things that have been harder to shift is maybe some of the attitudes around HIV. I think that there's been huge improvements to treatment. So, you know, if you go back to the 80s where people had to take lots and lots of tablets, for many people now living with HIV, it'll be 1 or 2 tablets a day. The treatment regime has completely changed. But what hasn't really changed is the stigma. So the stigma that people encounter in terms of day-to-day life, the relationships they have, you know, the knockbacks that people might get from that, the assumptions that people might make. And I don't think that, I think collectively, we've not done enough on that. I think collectively, you know, the system, different organisations need to be doing more around that. But you know, there's loads of opportunities. I think that if you look at, I mean, one of the big changes is around gay social dating sites, and that's changed the way in which certainly gay and bisexual men will meet in terms of, you know, sexual partners. For many people, it potentially has an impact in terms of the frequency or numbers of partners that people can have. But I also think it has a real potential in terms of helping to end HIV. I think there's huge potential in terms of at the click of a button, you can reach thousands of people and you can get over the importance of a HIV testing message or the importance of condom usage. At the click of a button, you can also get people to tell their stories and share their stories. And I think that's the most powerful thing about people being able to influence other people, in terms of, you know, you're much more likely to go for a HIV test if your mates have gone for a HIV test. You're much more likely to, you know, use condoms if your sexual partners are used to using condoms and have used condoms. So I think that's what's really exciting. I think we've got the potential now with online work with the community activism we've got to really sort of grow a movement around trying to end HIV.